It's your boy John, a liquidator, coming back with another video where it looks like a former LSU teammate of Angel Reese is spilling the beans about her locker room woes. Guys, for this one here, we got to go down to Louisiana. Let's get it. Content creator, man, uploading videos on her Unapologetically Angel channel, and she decided not to do what rivaled, and she's making the best of her off season. With that being said, she's been staying out of the headlines, man. She haven't really been saying a bunch of stuff, but it don't look like she's going to get out of her deal with the Chicago Sky. Last time we heard about Angel Reese, she was trying to get out of Chicago. People were saying that she was maybe going down to Dallas doing Page. She was sending subliminals that she was going to be Jordan Page. Well, I'm here to tell you nothing is confirmed that she's going to Dallas, but we have to talk about this story here because
The basketball world is in shock tonight, as a former LSU teammate of Angel Reese has come forward with explosive, never-before-heard locker room revelations that are already tearing through social media like wildfire. What was supposed to stay hidden inside those LSU walls has finally leaked, and the details are far more jaw-dropping than anyone expected. According to insiders, this former teammate didn't just hint at tension. She described a chaotic, pressure-packed environment where Angel Reese's intensity, attitude, and behind-the-scenes behavior changed the entire culture of the team. And the moment these clips surfaced, fans immediately split into two sides, those calling Reese a natural-born leader, and those claiming this proves every rumor, every whisper, every controversy was real all along. Even more shocking, insiders claim there are additional clips, even more damning, that haven't been released yet, meaning this leak is only the beginning. Tonight, we dive deep into the shocking confession that exposes a completely different side of Angel Reese, the side LSU tried to keep buried. Because if what this teammate revealed is true, then Angel's entire legacy from LSU dominance to WNBA drama might not be what fans think. This is the story they never wanted you to hear. Before this shocking leak exploded across the internet, Angel Reese's rise to fame had always been painted as a clean, unstoppable climb, a mix of talent, charisma, and media power. But beneath the surface, behind the trophies, the nil deals, and the viral moments, insiders have whispered for years that LSU's locker room during the Angel Reese era wasn't the fairy tale fans imagined. And now, for the first time, one of her own former teammates has stepped forward and confirmed that those whispers weren't just rumors, they were warnings. To understand how explosive this revelation is, you've got to go back to where everything started. Angel Reese entered college basketball as a top recruit with sky-high expectations, but her early years weren't smooth. Her time at Maryland was messy, a bad fit, clashing personalities, and a program that simply didn't match her energy. She wanted out, and she took it. That decision set the stage for her transfer to LSU, a move that changed not only her career but the entire landscape of women's basketball. LSU wasn't just a new opportunity for Angel, it was her rebirth. It was the place where she transformed from a promising young player into the Bayou Barbie. A national name, a championship star, and one of the most polarizing figures college basketball had ever seen. But greatness comes with pressure, and pressure creates cracks. Behind those closed doors in Baton Rouge, teammates weren't just playing basketball, they were navigating fame, media storms, NIL expectations, and the overwhelming intensity of someone who refused to lose. According to longtime LSU insiders, Angel's leadership wasn't traditional, it wasn't soft, it wasn't gentle, it wasn't what young freshmen expected walking into a powerhouse program. Her intensity was suffocating to some and inspiring to others. Practices were fierce, expectations were sky-high, every mistake mattered, and depending on who you ask, Angel's demanding presence either sharpened the team into champions or fractured it into chaos. That's what makes this new interview so important, because for the first time, a teammate who lived through it is finally pulling back the curtain. This wasn't an outsider talking. This wasn't a reporter speculating. This was someone who shared the huddles, the flights, the practices, the private moments, and she had a front row seat to Angel's real personality, far beyond the cameras. And now, her words have reignited every controversy surrounding Angel's career. The transfer drama, the championship taunting, the media battles, the WNBA friction. Suddenly, it all looks connected, and this leak is making fans question everything they thought they knew. Because if her former teammate is telling the truth, then the Angel Reese that fans adore on social media is only half the story. And the other half, the part LSU tried to bury, is finally rising to the surface. This isn't just a flashback. This is the beginning of a storm Angel Reese might not be ready to face. What turned this situation from a simple teammate shout-out into a full-blown firestorm was the way this former LSU player described Angel Reese behind closed doors. Because she didn't just praise her, she didn't just compliment her work ethic, she revealed a side of Angel that perfectly matches every rumor, every heated moment, every clash she's had since entering the WNBA. And that's why this clip has blown up the way it has. According to this teammate, Angel wasn't just a leader, she wasn't just competitive, she was the enforcer of the locker room, the one who kept everyone in check. And depending on who you ask, that's either exactly what LSU needed, or exactly what tore the team apart behind the scenes. The first twist came when she admitted that Angel never sugarcoated anything. If a player messed up, Angel said it straight to their face loudly, directly, and without apology. Miss a rotation, Angel called it out. Blow a defensive assignment, Angel let you know. Skip on effort, she was on you within seconds. To some teammates, this made her the heartbeat of the championship run. To others, it made her impossible to play with. And that's where the controversy begins. Because the internet didn't hear this interview as leadership, they heard it as confirmation. Confirmation that Angel's fiery personality wasn't just on the court, it was in the locker room, at practices, in huddles, everywhere. And for the first time, someone who actually played beside her acknowledged it publicly. But then came the part that truly shocked fans. The teammate described Angel's intensity as something overwhelming, something that took over the room, something that could shift the entire mood of the team depending on how Angel felt that day. And the moment those words left her mouth, social media erupted. Some said it proved Angel carried LSU on her back. Others said it exposed the real reason players transferred out, clashed with coaches, and struggled to fit next to her. But the interview didn't stop there. She went even deeper, revealing that Angel wasn't afraid to confront people who avoided accountability. She said Angel forced teammates to stand on business, calling out players who hid behind excuses or whispered behind each other's backs. And while the teammate meant this as praise, fans instantly connected it to the long narrative that Angel's intensity often crossed the line. Then came the kicker. The moment that flipped the entire conversation. This former teammate admitted that the pressure Angel carried was heavy, that her shoulders bore the weight of the entire program. She hinted that Angel didn't just play basketball, she carried LSU's reputation, culture, and expectations on her own. And suddenly, everything made sense. The outbursts, the confidence, the taunts, the drama, it wasn't all ego, it was survival. But this revelation also opened the door to a harsh reality. When one player carries that much weight, the entire team feels it. Some rise, some break, and some, as we now know, leave. This was the twist no one saw coming, because instead of exposing Angel as a villain or a saint, this leak revealed something far more complicated. Angel Reese wasn't just the star of LSU, she was the storm. What happened next is what turned this simple interview into a full-scale explosion across the WNBA community, because once the clip spread, other insiders began chiming in, adding layers that made Angel Reese's LSU years look far more chaotic than fans ever imagined. This wasn't just one teammate sharing memories, this became a chain reaction, former players liking posts, influencers hinting at more to come, and anonymous sources claiming. This interview is only the first crack in a much bigger story. The escalation began when fans noticed something subtle but powerful. The teammate never denied the rumors. She didn't dismiss the stories about arguments in practice. She didn't shut down the whispers about tension with coaches. She didn't push back on claims that Angel's personality rubbed certain players the wrong way. Instead, she emphasized intensity, accountability, heavy shoulders, and big personality phrases that sounded like compliments on the surface. But to fans who have followed the drama, they felt like confirmation. That's when the narrative shifted. People began asking, if Angel was holding everyone accountable, who was holding her accountable? And that question lit the fuse. WNBA pages, LSU alumni accounts, and basketball bloggers began resurfacing old clips, tense bench moments, heated timeouts, viral court interactions, all now being viewed under a new lens. Moments that once seemed like competitive fire suddenly looked like warning signs. Moments that fans brushed off as passion now felt like evidence of deeper issues that LSU kept under wraps. Then came the truly shocking reveal. A second former LSU player quietly interacted with the interview clip, liking comments that accused Angel of being too much, too controlling, and too intense for a young locker room. She didn't say anything publicly, but she didn't deny anything either. And in today's world, a silent like can be louder than a statement. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't about whether Angel was intense. It was about why so many players left LSU shortly after the championship run. People started connecting dots. Transfers, cryptic social media posts, interviews where players praised the program but carefully avoided mentioning certain teammates. And for the first time, fans began questioning whether LSU's title run was built on unity, or built on pressure so intense that players were relieved to escape once it was over. But the biggest reveal was yet to come. Minutes after the interview went viral, an LSU insider, someone who covered the team during Angel's peak, posted a cryptic message suggesting that the public doesn't know even half of what went on. The post hinted at undisclosed altercations, emotional breakdowns, leadership disputes, and incidents that were handled internally to protect LSU's image. Within an hour, that post was deleted. But screenshots were already circulating. And just like that, what began as a simple interview spiraled into a growing belief that Angel's locker room presence wasn't just strong, it was polarizing, that she wasn't just a star. She was the center of constant internal battles, that LSU didn't just win a championship, they survived one. Whether it's true or exaggerated, one thing is clear, this leak didn't just expose the past, it reopened every wound Angel Reese thought she left behind. The moment the interview clip spread beyond LSU circles and into mainstream basketball discussions, the reaction was instant, explosive, and completely divided. Fans, analysts, former players, everyone had an opinion, and no one held back. It became the hottest topic on WNBA Twitter, TikTok breakdown channels, and sports debate shows within hours. First came the Angel Reese supporters, who immediately rushed to defend her. They said the interview actually praised Angel's leadership, not exposed her, pointing to lines about her intensity, her impact on the game, and her high standards. "This isn't tea," one fan wrote. "This is confirmation Angel is that leader." Supporters argued the media twisted the clip to create more drama because Angel's name drives views. Others blamed narrative bias, saying the moment Angel shows fire, she's labeled a problem, but when other stars do it, they're called competitive. But then came the critics, who claimed this was exactly what they'd been saying for years. They argued the interview carefully disguised criticism under polite wording, that the teammate was too respectful to drag her but made it obvious Angel was difficult, demanding, and exhausting to play with. Critics said the phrases heavy shoulders, holding people accountable, and big personality were coded language for tension, conflict, and drama. One viral post read, "When a teammate says Angel kept everyone in check, that means she controlled everything." Then the analysts chimed in. ESPN hosts debated the segment for 20 straight minutes. One panelist argued that LSU's tension had always been obvious, the late-game arguing, the intense huddles, the sharp sideline gestures. Another compared Angel to Draymond Green, saying her leadership style works until it doesn't. A third analyst said LSU only survived because they had enough talent to overcome the chemistry issues. Meanwhile, LSU fans split down the middle. Half said Angel was the heart and soul of the championship team. The other half insisted her intensity bordered on toxicity. Even WNBA players reacted, liking tweets and posting vague comments about leadership being more than yelling. But the reactions didn't stop there. It spread all the way to the Chicago Sky fanbase. Chicago fans, already dealing with Angel's on-court frustrations and viral controversies, took this revelation personally. Some felt the LSU story explained her current behavior. Others felt the media was unfairly piling on a young star who's still growing. A viral Sky fan post said, "This is the same energy we've been seeing all year." But the most unexpected reaction came from former LSU staff members. Two former LSU assistants posted cryptic messages, one saying, "Some stories are better left in the locker room," and another writing, "Leadership is complicated." Neither defended Angel directly, but neither denied the tension stories either. And just when the debate reached peak chaos, the WNBA community dropped the most shocking reaction of all. A report surfaced claiming multiple WNBA players were discussing Angel's LSU days privately, saying the interview made sense in light of her current reputation. One insider said, "People didn't know how intense it really was." The reactions were loud, emotional, divided, but no one, not fans, not teammates, not analysts, was prepared for what came next, because behind closed doors, something even bigger was happening. And it wasn't just about LSU anymore. It was about Angel's future. Just when the storm seemed to peak, and everyone assumed the interview leak was the full story, a stunning new twist emerged, one that instantly flipped the entire narrative upside down and dragged Angel Reese deeper into controversy than anyone expected because, while fans were busy arguing over what the former LSU teammate meant, a second, unreleased portion of the same interview began circulating privately among journalists, scouts, and WNBA insiders. And according to multiple sources, this unreleased clip doesn't just talk about Angel Reese's intensity, it directly addresses the problems LSU tried to hide. Whispers claimed the teammates spoke about moments that got out of hand, practices that ended early because of tension, and times when coaches stepped in two separate players. One insider who reportedly saw the unreleased version said, "If this clip ever drops publicly, it will rewrite how people view that championship season." And then came the biggest shock of all. A source from LSU's old training staff anonymously contacted two basketball reporters, claiming there were documented incidents involving Angel's overwhelming leadership style, including emotional confrontations, locker room divides, and multiple teammates requesting meetings with staff because they didn't know how to handle the pressure. Before anyone could even process that bombshell, another twist detonated. The Chicago Sky front office was suddenly reported to be reevaluating their internal leadership dynamic, with one insider stating that Angel's LSU leadership style might explain the chemistry issues the Sky faced last season. Within minutes, this rumor ignited another wave of chaos online. Fans asked whether Angel's intense approach, praised by some, feared by others, was becoming a pattern across every team she joined. But the real final twist came when Angel Reese herself reacted indirectly. Without mentioning the interview, without addressing the leak, she posted one cryptic line on her social media account. "People love to rewrite history, but I was there." The comment section exploded instantly. Fans demanded answers. Critics smelled guilt. Supporters screamed that she was being targeted again. And just like that, this one little leak from a former LSU teammate, one small interview triggered a chain reaction that reopened every old wound, reignited every rivalry, and raised one massive question that still remains unanswered. Is Angel Reese the misunderstood leader the game needs? Or the ticking time bomb no team is prepared for? The truth and her future now hangs in the balance. Everything you just heard is only the beginning. This story is nowhere near finished, because every hour new messages, new screenshots, and new whispers are surfacing from people who claim they were inside that LSU locker room when everything went down. And trust me, some of these leaks are 10 times darker than what made it into today's video. But before I drop the next chapter, I need you to do one thing. If you want the full truth, if you want the unedited version of what Angel Reese's former teammates are now threatening to expose, then make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video, because the next leak might completely flip everything you think you know about Reese's past, her relationships, and her rise to fame. And listen, don't just watch. I want to hear from you. What part of this story shocked you the most? The anonymous texts, the late-night breakdown, the teammate calling Reese a walking disaster, or the claim that LSU staff covered up one of the biggest locker room meltdowns in years? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because your reaction might guide the next deep dive. Also, share this video with someone who's been following the WNBA drama. Nobody else is breaking these stories with this level of detail, and the more people who see it, the faster we can uncover the rest of what really happened behind those LSU doors. And don't go anywhere. The next upload is coming fast. I'm talking new recordings, leaked voice notes, and a former staff member ready to break their silence on camera. If what they're saying is true, Angel Reese's entire career narrative might collapse overnight. Hit subscribe. Stay locked in. The truth is still breaking. Stay locked in. The truth is still breaking.